you said I could have a coffee. This is Terry David Mulligan, and this is the weekend edition of Good Rockin' Tonight. Just before we get to Paul Stanley, a reminder that 25 Tina Turner videos from Sony of Canada are up for grabs. The trivia question is, name 3 male artists that she has sung with in the past 5 years. Our mailing address will be with you at the end of the show. And speaking of mail, was there any doubt about not showing part 2 of the Paul Stanley interview? We had mail from day 1 demanding the final half of the interview, so without any further whatever, here's Paul Stanley. Keep a pen handy because he'll repeat the trivia question.
I want to say something to you people, and this comes from my heart, okay? We're here to party with you. Now, I'm here, and if you're not here, the party goes on, but it means that there's less people. I'm doing my best to run this the way you would like it run. Absolutely bizarre, hysterical, with a questionable amount of bad taste thrown in just for good merit. Where are you tonight? Lick It Up was a song that I wrote trying to teach good oral hygiene and eating habits and promote flossing, you know, flossing and making the most of your mouth. Yes. Mastication. Yes. Heavens on Fire basically was just an attempt by me to let everybody know that youth of America, like everybody with a beating heart, gets hot. And that's basically all that song's about. You know, everybody likes to get aroused and have a good time.
You're in great shape.
Well, I try to stay in great shape.
I mean, do you work at it?
Any way I can.
I know, but anything you can tell us about?
On TV, yeah. Love life. I don't know. You know, you just, you know when you look good. Nobody wants to look in the mirror in the morning and go, ugh, you know. So you try to wake up in the morning and be able to look in the mirror and go, hey, who's that guy? So that's basically...
You're still having a good time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it, yes?
This face hardly ever cries.
This is good.
I sleep with a smile.
Any other bands out there do anything for you?
Well, they remind me of us, but...
There's a lot of you out there.
Yeah, well, that's kind of nice.
It's a compliment.
Sure. Hey, you know, you got to be doing something right if everybody's basically trying to do the same thing. I think that's great. Is there any bands out there
Anybody that catches your ear?
Well, Rat's good, and Bryan Adams is good. I mean, we've known Bryan for years.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some good stuff out there, and there's a lot of stuff that's just so-so.
You like Huey? Huey Lewis and this?
I like Huey, Louie, Daffy, and
Dozy, Beaky.
Dozy, Beaky. I like them all. We're very big in England, and real proud of it too, because I mean that really is the start of heavy metal music, was England. Yeah. I mean, granted, it was based on, you know, whether it was Muddy Waters or you know, Lightning Hopkins and this one and that one from America. It basically started over there. So when you're accepted over there, it's pretty nice.
The Russians, you've got to go and convert these people.
Well, it's real hard to get in. You know, it's I think a couple of months ago they said something to the extent that they pointed us out and said that we were degenerates, and I mean, that may well be true, but don't hold it against us.
Sure.
Let us play for you.
The Grammys?
No, I missed them.
Okay. One of the producers, it was a tie for Producer of the Year, David Foster. One of Foster's all-time favorite records is Heavens on Fire. He says it's a hell of a record, well produced. Well, do you remember the producer of that particular tune?
He's close to my heart. It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to be recognized.
It's very nice to be recognized. I really appreciate that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, it's real nice when people take the time to give you a little pat on the back. You know, certainly you get enough boots in the behind, so you might as well get a couple of pats on the back. What song did not appear on the original version of the first Kiss album, but was later added on subsequent printings?
All right, we'll have an address for you in just a couple of minutes. You can win these glasses from Paul. Also, one of 25 Animalize albums or 4 libraries 12 in each, 4 of these, okay? Neat stuff, right.
Hi, this is James Brown, the Godfather of Soul. Have you heard the news? There's good rockin' tonight.
When we last left Tears for Fears several weeks back, they had the hottest new hit in North America. Tonight, they are taking aim at #1 in everybody's chart. Man, are these guys hot. So, to recognize this newfound fame and fortune, we at Good Rockin' have got everything you ever wanted to see and hear about Tears. But it comes with a warning. At the end of this feature, we'll tell you about a Good Rockin' exclusive contest that could see you spending a lot of time with these guys. But first, something old, something new, and an interview with Roland and Kurt. We asked about Shout, but first, we talked to them about when they first met.
When did we first meet?
We first met when we were 13 and...
about 6 years ago.
10 years ago. And it's a status quo I've been going. How long? 20 years? We've been going 10 years. Anyway, when we first met each other, we both thought we were foreigners. Kurt thought I was French, and I'd come over on a French exchange with a mate of his, and I thought he was an Indian.
It was the turban I was wearing at the time that fooled you.
And basically we had the same sense of humour and we were the same height, so we kind of we got on. And I've been playing the guitar and writing songs since a wee lad, and Kurt was a closet vocalist, and I heard him singing in his bedroom along to a record,
which we'll go unmentioned.
And it sounded great, and I asked him to join our band. Initially it came up, I had about a month off to come up with songs for the album, and I had a little synthesizer and a drum machine in my dining room, just in front of a mirror, and basically that's where it came from one bass synth sound and a drum rhythm. Ian Stanley, our keyboard player, whose sofa we're sitting in, came down and I played him just the chorus, because that's all I had at the time, and it was like a mantra thing which I thought would go over and over again without any verse or anything else. And he goes, that's great, that'll be a hit all around the world. And I said, you got to be joking. A good album track at the most. Anyway.
And he was joking.
Yeah, and anyway, I played it to Chris Hughes, our producer, and he said the same thing. And we all approached it in a very, very simple way, and we didn't think it was going to take very long. Anyway, it evolved from that into the epic it is now, through Chris and Ian, and through their input, so to speak.
If you just discovered Tears for Fears, check out their other 2 albums to go with the latest, Songs from the Big Chair, which has at least 3 hits on it. Now, about a trivia question concerning the group. We will ask a trivia question on next Friday's show, Show 100, about Tears for Fears. We will draw a winner's name on the May 10th show. The winner and a friend will fly to Toronto May the 30th, stay at a top hotel, get $100 spending cash, get 2 album libraries, 2 Tears tour jackets. Then you get 2 front row seats for the concert that evening, and after the show, you get to meet the band, you get autographs, and hang out. Now, does that sound like a winner? Huh? You bet. 50 runners-up will also get autographed albums. So, next Friday, our 100th show, we'll give you the question. Don't miss it.
Hi, this is James Brown, the Godfather of Soul. Have you heard the news? There's good rockin' tonight.
Coming up next, the hardest working man in show business, the man they call Brother Rap. They call him Mr. Dynamite, the Godfather of Soul. Ow! James Brown.
Number 1 all time, the undisputed king of rock and roll is Elvis Presley. That's right. Can't get away from that. I don't care what other people say. Elvis went out there and pioneered, and he opened the door for a lot of people like myself. Because as you know, there are certain things we've been fighting. Religions, race problems some places. And he had to open the door. And I thank Elvis.
Papa's got a brand new band.
To try and place James Brown's contribution to popular music is an overwhelming chore, believe me. When you see Michael Jackson dance, or Prince small step across the stage and fall to his knees, or Mick Jagger work the front of the stage, they all got their moves from the king of funk, James Brown. He holds the record for having more singles than any other act in history, and although his moves are slower these days at the age of 51, he can still fill any room that he plays. Not for nothing that he was the only R&B artist to have liner notes on his album written by the late Hubert Humphrey. I waited 20 years to talk to this man. I got 10 minutes. Well, you want to know how good James Brown was? The Stones were to follow him on the Tammy Show. When Mick Jagger saw what James was doing out on the stage, he refused to go out. He finally did, under threat.
My father stopped in the 2nd grade, my mother stopped in the 4th grade, and I come from a society that you had to be 10 times as good as anybody else to succeed. But thank God I've had a lot of good friends, you know, throughout the years, Dick Clark, Alan Freed, and one of your fellow Canadians, Danny Aykroyd, I love very, very much, John Belushi. We're talking about Danny. I saw Danny today, too. He's always behind me. If I'm anywhere in the country, he gets close to me some kind of way.
What do you remember about the Tammy Show, James?
I remember the Tammy Show was something that had to be different from anything I had ever done. I went up against the world. My manager was in the corner like a fighter. He said, go get him, Jim. And I had to go against something that was well advertised. Some soul had been watered down by some of the groups like the Motown. Not that Motown, but Motown had to go pop and soul. So they took the roots and the guts out of it, you know. I didn't do that. I left the force there and I stayed with it and it didn't compromise with my music. And I thank God for that because today it's needed. People need energy and my music is full of energy because my music is God's word. And I thank God for it.
Have you seen Prince live?
No, I've never looked over my shoulder.
Yeah.
You heard that, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
No, but everybody's, I saw some of his act, and I was quite amazed. You got to remember, Prince admired James Brown, and his manager is somebody that used to work for me for about 12 years. We did the liner notes on the Payback album, Alan Leeds. And I like watch him grow up for about 18, 19, 20 years. And then I know Alan's whole family. And Prince needed somebody because he admired James Brown as well as Michael. Yeah. Reverend Sharpton was just on the Michael tour, the Victory tour. And these kids, they eat and sleep James Brown. But also Boy George, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, most of the people. I'm very lucky. Then I've had quite an influence on the jazz world as well. So I've been very fortunate, you know. I'm one of the people that were blessed over and over and over again.
Was there any thought of slowing down going into the 80s?
No. I thought of slowing down the middle of the 70s because I felt that I'd been somewhat taken advantage of. I worked so very, very hard. I had nothing as a kid. I've always helped people. My life has been to help other people. We traveled today. We brought Reverend Al Sharpton with us, a young man from New York who heads up the National Youth Movement. He fights all of the injustice things and try to keep peace and harmony throughout our country and the United States. Well, the world is my country, but he's basically a stateside man. Sure. And this is what I'm about. I was a juvenile delinquent as a kid, and I was able to turn my life around with God's help. And I'm a born-again Christian, and I love what I'm doing. And I did with it actually say, where'd you get those movies from? Say, the world has never seen a man like that. But you know what? I guess I was shooting for this day. This is the day I was shooting for. I got a job to do, like you got a job to do. I talked to you just now, and I enjoyed your conversation, things that we talked about, because I know you're concerned about people. We owe people something, and we got to keep giving it to them. And I'm here in Canada. I'm here because I love the people. The people have been great to me. I played up and down this coast.
Yeah.
You know, and all the different dialects that you speak in Canada. I've been able to play for all those different people in their homeland and their motherland. And I just know it's going to be great.
If we have piqued your interest in James Brown, a legend, you should check the better record racks in your hometown. You might find his new reissues of his old hits, all right? But if you buy only one album, make it live at the Apollo.